But I want to talk about your experience actually playing the game. So,
Hmm.
your first time ever playing football was in college, right?
Hmm.
So I think at its core, football is a pretty simple game, right? You run, catch,
Yep.
hit, block, tackle. It's not that complicated, but when
Hmm.
obviously as you progress and you get better and better, it gets more complicated. So
Hmm.
what skills were you able to bring over from your, soccer skills and other things
Hmm.
like that? And what was that transition like?
So to be honest, the transition was quite easy, and I only say that because I'm very, I'm very much athletic and very much sporty. I love to get involved in different things. Like right now, I kickbox, which is very different to American football. But um, I used to play rugby, so I brought over the contact element was a no brainer. I mean, I was already okay. The only difference was you wear pads and you wear helmets.
Hmm.
In rugby, you don't wear any of that. So the contact element was it was a bit of a shock at first because the day after training or the day after a game, you got whiplash in your neck, like your body's hurting, and you're thinking, "What on earth?" You feel like you've been hit by a car. Um, but the transition itself was quite seamless in terms of the running element, the fitness element, the contact element. That bit was all good. I think for me, the newish stuff was all right. We get playbooks now, so now you got a playbook. Now you got a you got power, you got sweep, you got inside zone, you got counter, you got outside zone, you got play action, you got. When I was playing wide receiver as well in my first year, we're talking go routes, deep routes, slants, 5 yard and hitch, 10 yard, and it's just for me this is all new. But even then, I mean, I was very much in the headspace of I want to get really good at this. So
Hmm.
I'd go home, I'd study my playbook because when it comes to training, if you don't if coach calls a play and you don't know what you're doing, it's going to show up. There's nowhere to hide, right? You can't. If you
Yeah.
run the wrong route, you do the wrong thing, you're going to get in trouble. And I don't want to be doing push-ups for no one. So that did happen a few times, but yeah, for me that was the physical element and the athletic element was quite straightforward. I'm always in the gym. I'm kind of like just ready anyway, if that makes sense. It was
Hmm.
the playbook element, which I enjoyed because I enjoyed it, and I knew it got to the point where a coach could call anything. And I'd be like, yeah, cool, bam, bam, bam. You're supposed to do that. X receiver, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that. And that's what I enjoyed about it. So before I knew it, I was so fully immersed. And the thing is, when you're at college, like, and you're part of the society of American football, the team. Everything you do is I always say, like, I think joining that team made my experience at uni because
Hmm.
we had a social every single week. And obviously, sports teams get like special privileges as well. And everyone's like, it's kind of like I kind of describe it like there's a couple of the guys from the UK who are now playing college football in the States, and I had one on my show, and we were talking about the whole Letterman jacket that you have to earn, and you walk down the hallways, and people kind of like, oh, he's a football player. It kind of feels a little bit like that. So no, I loved every second of it. Still to this day, and you're so
Hmm.
immersed in the culture, the brotherhood, and the sisterhood of it as well. There's just it's so intense, but I love everything about it. So um, that was one of the reasons why I stuck with it. I played it for as long as I could. I mean, sometimes I feel like, oh, do I want to go back and play? But then my body reminds me, no, you can't be doing that no more. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but
Yeah.
I took a step away.
Eventually, right? Your body
Yeah,
quits on you,
yeah,
lets you
for
know,
real.
yeah, this is probably not a
Hmm.
good idea. So you
Hmm.
mentioned that you played for 11 years. So obviously you
Yeah,
played
bro.
after college as well.
Hmm.
So where did you play after you finished up at uni?
Okay, so the way it works over here is now anyway. Back then there wasn't so much exposure, but now you can start all the way from flag football, so like 6 or 7 years old, which I guess I don't know if that's Pee Wee age over there. I'm not too sure what age Pee
Yeah,
Wee
something like
starts.
that. Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
So you can start with flag, except I started at 18 years of age, which is very late, very late. 18 years of age, full contact. And then after I played 3 years at uni, so that was basically 3 years at college. And then after that, I took half a year off to let my body recover. I had moved from London to Kent, a place called Kent in the southeast of England. And then you join a senior team. So you go from a uni team to a senior team. And basically, every city has at least two teams. Normally, a team in like a League A and a League B, essentially, like an A team or a B team. Some teams just have one team, which is their A team. Some teams will just have a B team. So I joined the
And
local
sorry, at this
team.
point, are you a professional? You're being paid to play?
Bro, are you ready for this tea? You ready for this tea? The UK is
Uh-huh.
the only country where you can play American football and not be paid for it. It's the reverse.
Mm.
You have to pay to play. You don't get paid in the UK.
I mean, believe
Um,
it or not, out here we have something called semi-pro, which is same idea where
mm,
you actually pay to play. You're paying for your
yeah,
uniform, your pad. You have to
yeah.
bring your own pads and helmet and all
Hmm.
that. So I mean,
Hmm.
it's not that uncommon, but yeah. So
Okay.
okay, it's a pay to
Yeah.
play, so that means you're dedicated. That's what it shows.
Yeah, that's it. So for 11 years, I paid to play. And when you go to play senior ball, so I played senior ball with Kent Exiles over there for 5 years. They were my local team, like half an hour away from me. And then when I joined them, they were in Div 2, which was like the bottom league, and then we went to Div 1. And then we made it into the Premiership essentially, which was, it took 5 years for us to get there after like up and downs, up and downs. So no, technically in the UK, that is what you would call, it's still amateur though. We can't even call it professional because it is
Hmm.
still amateur. Um, and at no point do you get paid. The only time you do get paid is when you move to play in any other country but Europe, because then any other country in Europe,
Hmm.
because then you're considered an import. So, prime example, there are tons of guys from the States who come over to the UK to study, and they will go to the best college teams because and for example, there's a team called University of West England in Bristol, Bristol Bullets, UWE they're called for short, and they got hella guys from the States there because they've all come to study,
Really?
and all of them just go, oh, what, we can play ball, and all of them load up the team, and then they basically just smash everybody and win the title over and over and over again, which technically isn't fair, but there's no rules to stop you from doing that. Um, so yeah, you don't get paid over here. I played 5 years of Kent Exiles again, running back, and then after Kent Exiles, I wanted to test myself a bit more. So I said to myself, I'll stay until we get promoted to the Prem manager in the last year, just before I left. And then I went to a team called London Blitz. Now I mentioned earlier, London Blitz are the team that were local to me in North London. So it's almost like full circle. I never actually went down to London Blitz when I was younger, but I ended up transferring, if you like, to London Blitz because they were a Premiership caliber team. They've been champs many times over. So when you go to London Blitz, it's an upper echelon. The work is harder. You train
Hmm.
harder. You're in the gym with the team 2-3 times a week. So I wanted to experience that before I looked at retiring, if you like. So that
Yeah.
was just before COVID hit, which sucked a little bit because COVID ruined some of that. But I played for London Blitz for 2-3 years, and then basically threw in the towel.
Hmm. I mean, it's wild to me that there's promotion and relegation in the American football pyramid
Yeah,
out there too. I mean,
yeah, there is,
that
bro. Yeah.
yeah, that's I guess it's just like ingrained in the culture over there because everything else promotes relegation. I mean, we're having a
Hmm.
big fight here with MLS and USL and all these other minor leagues about
Yeah.
the pro rel and all that out here. So it's that's
Hmm.
wild to me.